All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens. This is one of the top and deadly teams in the entire NFL. Now, unfortunately, literally about 5-10 minutes ago, Rashad Bateman was ruled out for the rest of the season. Now, that one really hurts. The Baltimore Ravens are getting clowned on Twitter right now for not making a move for a receiver and making a move for a linebacker. Well, when you really break it down to Raven fans, you guys know this, like the defense needed help. They have the 25 best, or they're ranked 25, so one of the worst run defenses in the entire NFL. They have troubles guarding the middle of the field. Their three losses, I think personally, were either, it was either a turnover or the defense just collapsed. A lot of them were a little bit of both. The defense has played a lot better in the most recent weeks. However, they were missing that X factor. They were missing that playmaker. We'll talk a little bit more about Roquan Smith later on in the video, but myself included, I really wanted the Ravens to get DJ Moore. Like, I thought DJ Moore, I still think DJ Moore would put them way over the edge. Now, the thing with losing Bateman is he's been dealing with injuries all season. He's actually been dealing with injuries his entire 2-year career. This year, he's only had 15 receptions, 285 yards. He has been the deep play threat. He's had a couple of touchdowns, averaging 19 yards per reception. But when you really break it down, outside of the first 2 weeks, he either just hasn't played or you have not been able to rely on him. So it's not the end of the world because you're losing the X factor. You're losing the playmaker. It really sucks. But I like the depth they have. I think getting Demarcus Robinson this past offseason, I think we're about to see. He just came off a 6-reception, 64-yard night. I think we're really about to see why that was big. Clearly you got Mark Andrews healthy. I really like Isaiah Likely also in the tight end room. I think Devin Duvernay is a really enticing cat. Like, really enticing. I'm hoping he's able to kind of replicate what they lost in Rashad Bateman. However, you can't count out the fact that, and by the way, he's already having a career year. We're only 8 games into the season, and Devin's having a career year right now. It's nothing crazy. 24 receptions, career high 313 receiving yards, career high 3 touchdowns, and a career high of 13 yards per reception. So I like what they have, to be honest with you. James, I like what they have. I think that they have some intriguing pieces, and when we take a look at the trade deadline, did they need to go out there and make a trade? Let's say the Ravens only could make one trade, which is what they ended up doing. Would you have rather trade for a superstar linebacker or just a really quality, a little above average, usually a little above average wide receiver? I'm going to go with the Super Bowl linebacker because I think Roquan Smith was born to be a Raven. I think he's going to be in a Baltimore Raven uniform for a very long time, and he could be the X factor on your defensive end that either wins you a football game or wins you the Super Bowl, gets you to the Super Bowl, whatever the case may be. When you have the leading tackler in the NFL, a guy who had 163 tackles last season, when you have a guy who can attack the quarterback, he can stop the run, he can play in coverage, all at an elite or high level, I'm going to take that, okay? I'm going to take that. And once again, we can't discount the fact that, Baltimore could go out there and make a move. Theoretically, I know Odell Beckham Jr. there's been some rumors for him going to Baltimore. Now, personally, I still think Odell is going to go to either Kansas City or Buffalo. In fact, if I had to just make a prediction, I would think he's going to go to Kansas City. They have the most amount of money they can offer him. However, that doesn't mean Baltimore is out of it. That doesn't mean Baltimore isn't even an option. Who wouldn't want to play with Lamar Jackson? He would be the deep play threat. He would be the playmaker. He would be the X factor. Now, the good news is we actually have a while. We have at least a month until the name Odell Beckham Jr. possibly signing with the team even starts to float around, because he's got to get cleared. He's injured, tore his ACL in the Super Bowl, so he's got to get cleared, and once he gets cleared for football activities, we'll start hearing his name a lot more. The issue with making a trade at the deadline on the offensive end is you're essentially asking these players to learn a new scheme and you're expecting these guys to build a chemistry with the quarterback in 8 more games. Okay, so like I said, I mean, I was a huge DJ Moore candidate. I think even Jerry Jeudy, I made a Jerry Jeudy video on why the Ravens should look after him. However, I know he has his drop issues. Chase Claypool ended up going to the Chicago Bears. There are technically free agents you can still go out there and sign, but personally, Lamar Jackson is enough to me. Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews is enough to me. I think that we've seen the Baltimore Raven running game really improve in the last couple of weeks, and a lot of you guys have been quick to mention the running game because if you can't run the ball, I mean, it just makes your offense so it's not multifaceted. It's that much more predictable. Yeah, Lamar Jackson can definitely run it on his own, but you got to get your cats going. You just got to get your cats going, and they have some talented running backs on their team. I think Chase Edmonds is a phenomenal running back. I just said Chase Edmonds. Did he just get traded? I can't believe I just said Chase Edmonds. Apologies. Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards. Wow, I cannot believe that just happened. Chase Edmonds. I don't know what team he's on, but shout out Chase. I think he's on Arizona. Is he still on Arizona? Whatever. Point is this. Gus Edwards, Kenyon Drake, Lamar Jackson. I think the running back room is perfectly fine. I think they got a bunch of playmakers on their team, and you just got to stick with it. Not every game is it going to work, right? Like this past game with a guy, Kenyon Drake, right? Not RB1, coming off a pretty okay backup year. He's a great receiving back as well, so keep that in mind. Coming off a solid year for the Vegas Raiders. Well, this past week, he lit it up against Tampa Bay. 7 attempts, 62 yards, almost 9 yards per attempt. Well, if you fast forward to the week before that against Cleveland, you had 5 rushing yards on 11 attempts. That's like half a yard per carry. So, week before that, 111 or 119 rushing yards on 10 carries for almost 12 yards per run. I think the running game is extremely important. So, if I'm Baltimore, I'm feeling pretty good about my chances, although that Bateman loss was huge. JK is a few weeks away from returning is the recent report. That's the recent new rumor. So hopefully you get him I'm hoping the last couple of weeks at least. I mean, we know JK is a dog. Last season, 2 seasons ago, 805 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns. I mean, once JK is back officially, and if he can stay healthy, which is the most important part, if he can stay healthy, I feel really, really good about the Ravens offense, although they did lose a big piece in Bateman. So let me know what you guys are thinking about that injury. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want more Ravens content, show some love down below. I just started making Ravens videos within the last couple of weeks, and you guys are nothing but supportive. I can tell you guys love your team so much, but you have been very nice, very generous to me with all the mistakes that I've made talking about them. So if you want more Ravens content, show some love down below. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you watching my Ravens videos. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'll catch you guys later.